Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. This is Business Studies with Saad A. Kareem. Today we are going to study cost, scale of production, and break-even analysis. Let's understand the classification of the cost one by one, gradually, with the examples. Fixed cost, also referred as overhead costs, so many times in the past papers. Costs which do not vary with the number of items sold or produced in the short term. We are going to look into the graph as well later on. Examples could be rent, salaries, insurance, because the perfect example is the COVID pandemic, where when in the lockdown, so many businesses are closed. Their fixed costs remain the same because they still have to pay the rent, they still have to pay the salaries. What about the schools? Variable cost, also referred as the direct cost, costs which vary with the number of items sold or produced. Total cost, fixed and variable cost combined. Whereas marginal cost is the extra cost to the business that occurs by producing one more unit of output. So any nth unit, for example, if I produce 10 units, then the 11th unit is going to be marginal. Now let's understand this break-even chart. We are having total sales, total cost, variable cost, and fixed cost. The intersection between the total cost and the total sales is my break-even point that determines how many units a business need to produce to cover its total cost. So if you are going to look into here, uh, around approximately 3,000 units, it's getting the break-even point. And it's very important to note that as long as a business covering its fixed cost, it should not shut down. But when a business is not covering its fixed cost, then this is the time that you better sit at home and you shut down your business. Now, if you are going to look into that after 3,000, there is a profit. And before the 3,000 units, it's a loss. So we have one term, it's called the safety margin. Now, what is safety margin? Safety margin is the difference between the current production or the budgeted production and the break-even point. Because the break-even point is very close to the loss. So that's one of the reasons. The farther you are, the more safe you are. This is why it's called the safety margin. Now, it is very important to note that it also show the selling price, the height of the break-even, you know. And one more crucial thing that if we are going to look into, that the variable cost is this one. This is the fixed cost, and this refers to as total sales minus total cost is the profits. Calculation of break-even point, there is a other way around that instead of drawing the break-even point, especially students, they often get confused. Are we getting the right point? What if it's the wrong point? So they can cross-check with this formula, and that is the contribution through the contribution and through the break-even point formula. What is contribution? Selling price minus variable cost per unit. We get the unit contribution. And break-even point is total fixed cost divided by unit contribution. So this is how we get the break-even point in number of units, not the dollar revenue, mind you. Now, what are the advantages of break-even? Before we go on, remember that it is a future tool. Before we are going to introduce a product to the market, so or we are making the product, so you do the break-even just like other tools like the business plan or the marketing plan and so on. Okay. So expected loss and profit can be read. It shows impact on sales due to certain business decisions. It shows the safety margin. Just like advantages, so their disadvantage of break-even as well does not show the possibility that stocks may build up if not are sold. Fixed costs only remain constant if the scale of production does not increase. Many other aspects have to be taken into account which are not. One of the aspect is that they assume all are hotcakes, everything is going to be sold out, which is not the practical case. Economies of scale, if we are going to look into economies, the factors that lead to reduction in average cost as a business increase in size, very, very important concept. And the bigger you are, the more advantages you are going to reap in. There are basic five economies of scale: purchasing economies, financial economies, technical economies, managerial economies, and marketing economies. Let's discuss them one by one. Purchasing economies reduce cost of each item bought by buying in large numbers. Say if you buy one shirt for yourself, you may not get discount. But if you are buying six shirts, the seller may think, okay, give some discount so that he can come back again. So this is how the limited companies or the mass size businesses, they do get the discounts by directly buying from the manufacturer. Financial economy is more sources of finance, easy to get loans, low interest rate. Limited company who is working on the flow production may get a lower interest rate as compared to the sole trader, because he's having unlimited liability and there are more chances of default. Marketing economies, bulk buying discounts, ability to hire specialist staff, lower cost for advertisement. Like Pepsi, they are using 200 trucks for their own marketing when they launch the Gatorade. Technical economy, specialization, research and development, that's very crucial. Because just like Microsoft spent $2 billion on the research and development, Samsung being innovative, every now and then introduce a new product in terms of better cell phone. And what about the Toyota? That with instead of the traditional cars, they introduced the hybrid car, then electronic car, and now they are working on the hydrogen cars. Better transport, managerial economy, specialization. For every field you are having specialized people working, they are very good in their task. So definitely productivity increase, quality increase, and as a consequence of that, revenue increase and profits are there. They were supposed to be managers in every department, even their like brand managers that who are responsible for taking care of their brands. Diseconomies of scale, factors which lead to an increase in average cost as a business grows beyond a certain size. Management diseconomies, decision making take times, disagreements, could be poor communication, less contact with customers. There could be labor diseconomies as well. What diseconomies means, you grow so much that it is difficult to control, and now you start losing up because the volume is so enormous. Less connection with management, quality suffers, low morale, strikes, and disruption. Let me give you example. For example, if you are having two stores and they are running so good, you start thinking, why not open two more stores? When you start to open two more stores, now you have four stores. And now it's difficult for you to manage between four, to allocate time or to distribute times. And the profit that you used to get it from two stores are eaten up by the two new stores. And as a consequence of that, you have to close down. We have seen so many businesses, they just end up with nothing when they expand it too much. Difficult to control. And sometimes they are taken over by the rival businesses. Now, let's study one more topic, location of industry today. Location of a business is very crucial. And we are going to look into location of a business from different perception, like the retailer, the service business, manufacturing business, location when moving abroad and so on. So the location of a business considered when it startups or when its present location is unsatisfactory. The business objective as well as the conditions of environment change, so the business may need to look for a new location once in a while. There are many factors that affect the location of business, and these factors are different from each other. We'll take a look at them below. Location of a business for a manufacturing business. First factor is the market need to be near to transport perishable goods. For example, if it's a Karachi market, so Dawn Bread is not going to establish its factory to Hyderabad. So definitely supposed to be in Karachi. Need to be near to cut transportation expenses. KNN supposed to be in Karachi so that doesn't have to travel all the way from other cities, because transportation cost is really crucial, and especially when you have bigger cities like Karachi or Mumbai or New York and so on. Raw materials components need to be near to transport perishable goods like Mitchell's ke apne bagar. So perishable in terms of ketchup or jelly, jam and all. So especially it got rotten really fast. So they want to make sure that they are going to use input really fast. Uh, External economy scale, how good nearby businesses are for maintenance of equipment, for training workers, etc. We have internal economies, what we discussed just few minutes ago, and now this is external economies. External economies are the one when all the businesses in the same industry, they are going to get benefit from each other. For example, in Pakistan, we are having a energy crisis. So that could be coped up by they say, okay, we are having a reactor or the windmill farm, so that everybody is going to benefit. So this is going to be the external economy scale. Or a team of security personnel is going to be established so that they can monitor if a shopkeeper say in the market out of 100 shops they say okay, let's have a team and we are going to distribute the cost, so it could be done as well. Availability of labor, wages of the laborers, how skilled they are, that's also crucial, and this one of the reason labor is available, not only that, and cheap as well. This one of the reason whole world is uh, using Chinese labor, and they are established in China. Government influence, if we are going to look into grant subsidies, restrictions on dumping, etc. Transportation and communication to be able to transport products easily. So this is what we are discussing with the manufacturing power. Just like I told you, need a reliable source of power to operate effectively. Unfortunately, our manufacturing concern, they suffered a lot. Water supply, a lot of water is needed, and the production process, example, cooling, cleaning, cost of water. Uh, Climate, example, to reduce heating costs in a warm climate, some climates are required to produce certain items. Now let's discuss about how the location is really crucial in the retailing business. Do shoppers go there? What kind of shoppers go there? Nearby shops like competitors, mass market, gap in the market. Let's make things easy. It's easy. Say, if you wanted to open a garment shop, are you going to open in your locality, or are you going to open in, say, Lucky One or Hyperstar, or I mean to say that the Dolmen one? So you may say, "Oh, we then if I'm going to open there, I'll be having hundreds of my competitors." I agree, but at the same time, if you open in your locality, maybe 10 or 20 customers are going to stop by. But over there, hundreds of the customers every day, go there. So you are having more chances of the sales as compared to your own locality. Very crucial customer. I do look into customer parking availability, so it has an impact. Otherwise, you come back and your car just get disappeared. It happened to me so many times, and this is one of the reason I want to make sure that I only stop by where there is a good parking facility, and especially a metroplex city like this, Karachi. Factors affecting the location of the retailing business: availability of suitable vacant premises, quick sites. Example, in shopping centers are in short supply. Rent index is very crucial. From every angle, you are going to look into how you are going to reduce the cost or how you are going to control the cost. Especially what happened in pandemic and the corona, there are so many business control. They just closed down. Why? Because they have exorbitant amount of rents when there weren't any business and all. So only those businesses survive who have control, who has control on their expenses, and they have enough liquidity for their survival period. Access for delivery vehicles, uh, so that if there are 18 wheelers or bigger trucks comes in, so you must have a space for that. Security, if the area is insecure, so people are reluctant to come thereby, just like 10, 15 years back, we had the problem in our Karachi. Alhamdulillah, kind of settled down now. Goods will be stolen. Insurance will be reluctant to insure the shop. Legislation means rules and regulation set up by the government, laws restricting the trade of goods in certain areas. And how important this legislation is, customers, they want to go to the shops. Shops, they are ready with their goods, but government say lockdown. So everything is stopped. So that's how the regulations, rules. I mean, we have learned a lot of things in the pandemic era. Now, factors that influence a business to relocate at home or abroad. The present site is not large enough for expansion. If a business simply prefers to expand elsewhere, the factor affecting location will have to be considered. Raw materials run out. One alternative is to import raw material from elsewhere. Important for mining industries, but you have to make sure what is your lead time going to be. Difficulties with the labor force, wages are too high, need skilled laborers, rent taxes rising. Now this is what happening nowadays. New markets open up overseas, so you have to make sure cut the transport costs, bypass trade barriers. Governments grants and subsidies to attract business to locate in development areas to attract foreign investments. To why government uh, attracts excuse me businesses to the underdeveloped areas, so that they go there, infrastructure will be developed, economic activity is going to be there, their standard living is going to increase, they get the job opportunity, so that area is going to be developed with the business activity. To bypass trade barriers, tariffs and quotas. Tariffs are the import duty, and quotas is the physical limit on the imports. Factors affecting the location of a service sector business. Now, before I move on, a good example of the quota. There was a ban by the American government on Toyota that you can only bring certain number of Toyota cars in US. They thought about it and they come up with the idea, let's have a manufacturing plant in the US so that there won't be any problem with the quota. So this is how relocation really matters, and we have seen with the multinationals, whether it's Unilever, P&G, and so on, or Coke, Pepsi. Now, factors affecting the location of a service sector business, customers are very crucial, whether customer direct contact or with the e-commerce, like in pandemic, we have seen it. And it's actually the service sector that, only expand. Just like the Zoom, we are having a very good example how it just you know, uh, from nowhere, it just got popular all over the globe, and millions of the people are using it. Personal preference of owners near their home, and we are using the Daraz or the Food Panda and so on. Technology allows business to locate in cheaper sites, telephone, internet. Factor and availability of labor also count in. Climate important for tourism, very important. Near to other business like that, supply or repair machinery to other need to be near them to respond quickly. Post office, banks, restaurants, photocopier need to be in busy area for the convenience customers, that is being near malls, shops, or in the surrounding of the main business. This is what we call B2B business, business to business. Rent and taxes. If the business does not need direct contact with customers, then it could locate in cheaper areas. And this is it for today. Take care of yourself. Inshallah, I'll see you in the next class. Allah Hafiz.